you guys know Pearl, friend of the channel. We've made a lot of videos on her, and I'm sure most of you are well informed on her, but this is a pretty good summary. 16-year-old chicks, she says, are hotter than 26-year-old chicks. And she has a history of being weird to minors. Like, she's like, keeping them on her video thumbnail even though they said they wanted it taken down, while she's asking them serious questions about sex, like, oh, should a rapper have a condom on, and all these different things. You guys can go watch the videos and see all of the receipts. And she is, we call her Pick Me Pearl because I understand, guys, that the word pick me has been tossed around to basically just describe any woman that leans right at this point. But if there's any concept of being a pick me, if there's one woman in the world who is a pick me, it is Pearl. She would be in the dictionary if you open the definition, okay? And she's a manosphere YouTuber who likes to police what women wear, in the sense of she, for example, will say, you're wearing leggings, that's slutty, but then she will herself wear the same thing and take photos in it and go to the gym and take photos and post it on Twitter. And it's just repeated stuff like that that we've covered that just happens over and over. It's a very long pattern of behavior, and it even extends to makeup as well. She got on women's cases, people who are professionally on camera, for wearing makeup, and it was makeup that looked professional, looked good. It didn't look like cakey or anything. And she's like, oh yeah, well, you're grifting to men because you're on camera and you're wearing makeup. And then when I roasted her for not wearing makeup, she started putting on makeup, and then she looked like a clown. So she will hate on other women and then proceed to just do the exact same thing in an attempt to get male attention, while she also has a sugar baby. I call him her sugar baby because he's been very open about why he likes her, and very openly disrespecting her, talking about other women's asses, including his ex's ass. It's in the prior video I made on her. And yeah, she just has a long history of also just not knowing how to dress herself. For example, this is a screenshot from a video in the past like 6 months or so. And the video was titled, "Black people have no idea how disrespectful they are." And if we have time for it, we will get to watching that video, because there are quite a few points I want to make with that, as you can imagine with the title. But yeah, she always looks kind of greasy. She always looks like she just kind of rolled out of bed, doesn't bother with self-care, but she has a whole career built on how women should be beautiful and young to get a husband, and thus why she's so desperate and is willing to accept anything, including her sugar baby that clearly uses her. So it's not a, oh, you know, there just happens to be a wealth gap and, you know, that happens sometimes. No, like, he's pretty open about it. And when I tapped into her stream today, very briefly before I had to prepare for my own stream on her, she had about 150 people watching. This is about 20 minutes into stream. So I think that's pretty fair. It's not like she just turned the camera on. And I've seen her other streams as well, and they don't have a lot of viewers despite her having over 2 million subscribers. And this is relevant later as well. And in the stream, by the way, happened to be when I clicked on, she's critiquing women and how they're dressing and how they're all whores. And she's quite literally said, all women are whores. But I found today that she was talking smack about me on her video, and I saw it like 2 hours
What up, guys?
after it came out. So we're gonna watch it.
Welcome to my coffee talks. Today, I want to talk about how my enemies always seem to take out themselves. So for those of you that don't know, in 2023, I skyrocketed to fame, and I was...
Quick disclaimer, you will notice she has this intro every single video. You think she would learn.
Famous for red pill and conservative content. And during that period, I made some enemies. It was a lot of times it was one-sided. But for years, there have been these hit pieces, these channels that just attack everybody. And what I found is in the long run, my enemies are always involved in much weirder stuff than me. For example, there was a girl who's been attacking me.
Oh, did you see that? You see that? Oh, she has something in her hair. It's almost like what I said was true, how she just does not care about her appearance. Now, you might say, oh, Brittany, that's nitpicking. You know, everyone at some point gets... No, it is all the time. She has a long history of this. She has a long history of having an abusive relationship, okay? She has a neglectful relationship with her hairbrush. So, Pearl, I recommend before you start coming at me that you brush your fucking hair. You see this? Get yourself one of these. Get yourself a boar bristle hairbrush so it can take the lint out of your hair and it doesn't look so flat to your head with all of the grease there, okay? They're not expensive. Your dad is your family is are multi-millionaires. They have a whole street named after her, okay? You can afford a $10 paddle brush before you come at me. So run this through your hair next time. Okay, listen, it's different for me. My hair is hard to deal with, right? It's very, very curly. You can't just run a brush through it. It would turn into an afro. Different hair care. But in her case, her hair is very thin. Okay, it's not hard. It would take like 2 brush strokes to brush her hair. She has no excuse. Very easily managed hair.
In much weirder stuff than me. For example, there was a girl who's been attacking me for years. Just baseless stuff, making fun of me, saying I'm weird, you know, whatever. And baseless. It turned out that she lives with cat poop on the floor. Right?
Guys, it's over. I can't critique Pearl ever again because she went with a 10-year-old internet rumor. She is actually coping about a 10-year-old internet rumor. That wasn't even true. She's talking about how when Petals was 2 months old, that she had an accident at the end of the bed at like 6 o'clock in the morning because it was her first night home at 2 months old. On her first night. Pearl, I don't know what to tell you. Like, even I could sleep in cat shit every night and you still couldn't touch me. You would still not be on my level. I could literally, I could be, you know how Asmongold is the cockroach king? I could be the fucking cat shit queen. And I would still be more entertaining than you. So she has nothing, so of course she has to make things up. So that's very good to hear that she has to literally go off of, she probably saw Jeremy say it, and now she's going off of him. She's going off of a person that is now getting roasted and trending on Twitter for 3 weeks for deplatforming and lying. And she's going off of that rumor. She's like, oh, I finally got something. Oh, I got something.
Another one, she, you know, called into my show.
And in fact, if I slept in cat shit every night, my hair would still look better than yours because I actually take care of it and run a fucking brush through it. Again, Pearl, really recommend you get one of these. This is literally the only thing people have on you. It's pure copium. Also, hi, Shu. It is pure copium. She just has to make shit up, which is what she does her whole career, by the way. Her entire career is making shit up. That's why the Anna Kasparian debate, that's why you were silent, Pearl. So she says, oh, I only say baseless things. Oh, you're going to enjoy this, Pearl. You're going to enjoy this stream.
Right. Another one, she, you know, called into my show, said I make these bad life decisions. She makes such...
I think this one's about Sarah Stock.
Awesome life decisions. And it comes out that she was banging her boss while making her husband wait till marriage. And, you know, she aborted his kid.
Yeah, someone Sarah Stock.
Then there was a recent one, which I guess just happened, where a guy who, for those of you that don't know Fresh and Fit, they also do Red Pill content. There was a reaction channel that would constantly attack the red pill, right? Constantly say that we were degenerates, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that...
I want to stop here for a second. I want to point out to you guys that Pearl has me blocked. Okay, if you didn't see the tweet today, she has me blocked. She's talking this shit, but has me blocked for years. This is the same woman who's saying, oh, she thinks she's above me because she went with a internet rumor from 10 years ago. Oh, she got me. She literally has me blocked as she's saying this. Won't even name drop me while saying it. when making it so clearly about me, because that's what Jeremy just said, and I just included that in the video. So it's pretty obvious, right? So it's not looking good for you when you have to use the same copes that Jeremy does. A sour simp, someone who is upset that I wouldn't entertain him deplatforming people, and I wouldn't entertain him saying that he wants to have my babies and talking about my quote-unquote voluptuous boobs. Okay, I'm just saying that because I'm trying to give you guys an idea, for those of you who didn't see how graphic he was being in his simpery. It wasn't just like, oh, a nice compliment, okay? It was gross and creepy from a married man. So it's not looking good for her when she has to use Jeremy's cope. It's really not.
He got a woman pregnant and was...
Oh, and also, by the way, not only does she have me blocked, by the way, and talk shit, while she had me blocked, and when I took a YouTube hiatus, okay, I had retired from YouTube, and she saw this, she knew this, she decided to then host a catfish awards and put me in it with a fake photo of me. A literal edited fake photo of me to say that I'm catfishing people. A 10-year-old fake photo, no less. Which, thanks for the backhanded compliment, of course, but you know, she really is such a crybaby coward. It's like, oh, all these people are talking about me, and she'll go on later on and say how it hurt her feelings. Good. And I just want to show you something really quick before we continue this video, actually, about the Catfish Awards, where she posted the fake photo of me to try to claim that I look bad without makeup. Have you looked in the mirror? But anyway. Okay, so Pearl will post photos like this, right? And it's not even a good photo. Like, this is not her worst, but it's not her best. Like, it's not, like, Pearl, you need to stop. I don't even want to give her advice. There's so many things I want to say. I genuinely, I don't want to give her advice at this point. I gave her advice before and it didn't work out. And frankly, I don't think she deserves it. Okay? But the way you hold your face is bad. And I can see every texture in your face. It's just bad. And your makeup is smudgy in a bad way. It's giving stale eyeliner. It's not giving gothy emo queen. It's giving grandma's eyeliner. Okay? She has not fixed this. I've addressed this before. She has not fixed this. Things have not improved. But occasionally, she will post a photo where she will, like, really, like, get the, like, everything, try to get it right, and then she'll post online. You'll see what I mean. I know it's like, oh, well, of course you want to look good for a photo, but my point is she's hosting the Catfish Olympics and has to use fake photos of me, just like how she has to use fake internet rumors of me because she has nothing. And she posts photos like this, you know, she's unbuttoning her polo and to try to show cleavage, whatever, while talking about, oh, these other women are whores, posting in their gym pics. And, you know, here she is posing with her full face of makeup, right? With her button-down polo, right? Trying to show off non-existent cleavage to her male followers, no less. And, you know, she'll post photos like that. But in reality, in an average video, she looks like this. She looks like she was left out to dry. Like, are you gonna go get in your horse buggy, ma'am? I think Amish women do it better. I think they, like, own this type of look and lean into it. I think it's just the unintentional mess here. Again, you see this? Run it through your hair. Seriously. You're gonna get on camera? This is a recent video, by the way. We're gonna watch this video later. She is in her, as she puts it, late 20s, because she doesn't want to say she's 29. She's 29 years old. Not that there's anything wrong with aging, by the way, but in Pearl's mind, she loves to critique women for their age, how they look, all these different things, for no reason other than being a jealous. I have to censor myself, YouTube. You get the point. She's very jealous. She comes at people for doing things that she just does later on. but then executes it terribly. So who is she to sit here talking about catfishes when she can't run a fucking hairbrush through her hair and she looks like this on an average video? But you're posting these images of yourself like this? Like, is this edited? Like, and when I say edited, I don't mean just like removing a blemish or something. Or look at this. Okay, I had to literally censor it because Pearl is so promiscuous that she had her, I have to say in a way where AI's not gonna get me, she had her chest pointies out, okay? And I had to censor her chest pointies because she decided to retweet it, okay? She's retweeting someone posting her chest pointies and I had to censor it. And a girl staring at it. And she's like, yeah, look at her stare at my chest. But she comes at all the other women, oh, you're just simping. You're doing this for male attention. But she has him out. She is so desperate for male attention. It's crazy. She's this desperate, but calling other people catfishes. Running the catfish awards, using a fake photo of me. That's 10 years old. Like, and girl, there's not much to show. I don't know what you think you're showing off. Because there's not much. You know, put the push mark, what do you call them? Put the push pins away. We don't need to see all that. You have a boyfriend, don't you? Now, I'm not saying you can't dress sexy. Like, at least mildly sexy if you have a boyfriend. You know, but it's like within taste, within limits. She just has them poking out there. But she's supposedly like, oh, she's telling other women about they can't, why should men marry women and all these different things. But, and how women are embarrassing their men, right? That was her take on the Brett Cooper thing, which isn't wrong, but she stole my take on it, by the way. She only said the stuff I said after I said it. I digress. She wants to be me so bad. I remember watching her and she was like, can I say the N-word? And then she started her video with saying nigga. I'm like, bitch, you will never be me. Stop trying. I could sleep in the mountain of cat shit and you still couldn't compete. So, yeah, she still has her Sasquatch stance. She still got her Sasquatch hunched over stance too. Still hasn't improved on that either. So if you're wondering why I don't want to even give her advice, I don't think she deserves it, nor does she utilize it well. On a rare occasion, she will try to catfish, as she would put it herself. But yeah, she is very desperate for someone who's supposed to be happy with her boyfriend, retweeting a girl staring at your chest because you're indecent. Because you have, like, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I think that having, like, a chest boner out is a million times more sexual than having like an inch of cleavage because you naturally have big boobs. I'm sorry. She has a chest boner. And she's retweeting it. She is signal boosting this. She is signal boosting the girl looking at her chest to all of her male followers. But she's supposedly happy with her sugar baby? Trouble in paradise, perhaps? So just keep that in mind anytime she speaks on relationships or women and how they dress or catfishing. You know, and it's really not a one-off. I think every woman. Sorry, that was loud. I just click on anything, and like this one just happens to be Lauren Southern that she's talking about because she was seething over Lauren Southern too. She was taking something she said seriously on Twitter that was like obviously a joke. She's like, you didn't invent the manosphere. It's like, you are so fucking dumb. But anyway, she looks like she's melting here, doesn't she? Like, why are you so sweaty? Single one,
but definitely me. Every woman a little bit wants to be able to be in her feminine.
She comes from a wealthy family. She was literally on her dad's payroll. She admitted this. It's in one of my videos, in one of the first videos I made on her. She always looks like this. It's not a one-off. It's not like, oh, one day she had a bad day. No, it is repeatedly.
Wants to be be in her feminine.
And that's why you were able to talk yourself out of your own intuition.
Yes, I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, see, these are two women that have taken L's. Like, neither of them have hot boyfriends. They're just like old harpies that took.
Yeah, see, this is what she says. Meanwhile, look at her. Look at her melting in her chair, right? And she can't put a bra on either. Not only can she not run a brush through her hair, she also cannot put a bra on. Girl, there was a time where I could not wear a bra because I had back issues and it was really bad. So what you do is you buy nipple covers. That's what you do. So if you want to go without a bra, okay, because they don't make them in your size or something, you can go get nipple covers and be decent instead of being on your pedestal talking to other women about how they dress and how they're this and that. They're, what did she say, harpies
Yes,
here?
I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, see, these are two women that have taken L's. Like, neither of them have hot boyfriends. They're just like old harpies that took an L and can't.
Yeah, but she'll describe herself as late 20s, by the way. Again, I would understand if it's a legitimate critique, but it really always comes from a place of jealousy with this. I have to put the claws away. I'm on YouTube, not Kick. I have to put the claws away. You get my point. She has no business. She has no business speaking. And literally, why should we take her opinion seriously? Why? On what basis? She's not funny. She's not interesting. She's not entertaining. She's not intelligent. She doesn't have life experience. Well, nothing valuable. So anyway. Oh, also for here, just so we have a clear example that I'm not just making up, although you could just go watch my videos. She replies to Jeremy Boring about Lauren Southern. She certainly has a body count, that's for sure. Okay, she has no problem talking down to other women, talking about their body count, but she can walk around with her push pins showing, okay? And she can have a whole, let's not even get into her dating history, right? Because we want to get back to the video. But you get my point. Don't talk about them if you're gonna dress like that. It's the most vulgar thing she could have done. Because, like, it's not like she has cleavage to show, right? So, like, the most vulgar thing for Pearl to be able to do is to have her push pins showing through and poking through.
Begging her to get an abortion. And what I found is in the long run, like, a lot of the people that are just attacking everybody are just involved in some weird, like, stuff I just would never be caught up in.
Yeah, she's not like everyone else. She should, like, smile softer. But yeah, she's better than everyone else, okay? She's apparently better than me. That's what she actually thinks.
Look, I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. I'm not saying I don't have skeletons, but there's just some stuff I'm like, that would just never happen to me. And I'm not.
But you are saying that because you just base this off of a lie to begin with. So you literally have to make shit up just to get by, just to feel like you're better than me. And this is a woman who was given everything, guys. She was born from a wealthy family. She has like 10 siblings. She has a street named after her. She had everything. She has no excuse. She has no excuse for her failures in her 150 viewer live stream on her 2 million subscriber channel. She has no excuse for how she doesn't run a brush through her hair. Really?
I'm not even saying I'm that good, right? But it's like hard drugs, you know, I just have never been tempted, and I've had opportunities to do like really hard drugs. It wouldn't happen to me. Yeah, I don't wish to do that. Abortion, you know, I just wouldn't have one. That just would, there's too many like.
Why doesn't she just go on and on about this? She could just go down the line and be like, yeah, and I've never raped someone either. And I've never, like, she is so desperate to have something to make her look good. She's that desperate. It's so fucking funny. Because she's self-admitted that she has low self-esteem. She said, yeah, I'm a mid. And it's like, No, you called Brett Cooper mid, and you're below Brett Cooper because you don't even take care of yourself. This isn't even just the genetics aspect. This is you literally, again, refer to the brush, refer to your old eyeliner that isn't even black anymore because it's so crusty on your eyes, on your crusty eyes. You don't even try. You call Brett Cooper mid, which, you know, to each their own if they want to say that. But Pearl, if she's mid, then you're down here. Okay? So let's make no mistake when she says, oh, I'm not saying I'm... No. She is saying that. I'm good, guys, I promise.
To not get pregnant. Like,
I'm better than Brittany, I promise.
I don't know how you guys get to that point. You know
she
what I mean?
literally dedicated this video to say that she's better than me, but she didn't have the balls to mention my name.
You guys get to that point, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'll eat my words in 10 years and I'll be like a drugged up, aborting woman. I don't know. I don't think so, though, you know? So, anyways, what I learned in this process is a lot of times all of my enemies or the people that would just ruthlessly attack me for no reason. You know, I think there's like...
For no reason. I can't... Jeremy alert. Hello? For no reason? I rewind the stream. Enough said. For no reason. How about being a hypocrite your entire career? How about not being able to defend yourself? When you went on a debate with Anna Kasparian.
People that...
Like, the whole list of just... You can't dress yourself. You have to try to, like, simp bait while going at other women for supposedly doing the same thing. Like, it could be something completely, like, just nothing, just innocuous, and she'll go after it and be like, you're trying to get simps, just say that. It's like, projection much?
I could say, okay, I could see the reason they're upset, you know, like if Lizzo ever responded to me, I'm like, I've called you fat a million times. If you're gonna come back at me, I kind of deserve that, you know what I mean? But, you know, people...
Like, look, she has this in her hair. And earlier, do you guys remember earlier, I pointed it out that she pulled the thing out of her hair. There's another one in her hair. So, like, it's not a one-off.
People that are just impolite and just, their whole brand is just to criticize everybody.
Unlike her.
So... what I realized during this process is there's just a lot of people that are losers in this world. And
the cope, the absolute cope. It's that you try to do commentary stuff, but you fail. Like, how does she think that she's not the loser here? Like, you got 150 live viewers after 20 minutes of streaming on your 2 million sub channel when you have rich parents? You had everything given to you?
I was never meant to hear
You can't even brush your hair and get dandruff out? Girl.
Opinion.
Stop.
You have no idea how many mentally unstable people are just walking around day to day. And I think if you're a stable person, like if you're not on antidepressants, you kind of just assume they're the same. Or, you know, if you're not crashing out and you're not crazy, you just kind of assume that everyone else is not.
She has several videos where she talks about how she had to go to therapy. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to therapy, okay? I'm not saying that that makes you, you know, Tony Soprano went to therapy, okay? No, but my point is that she has been vocal about her low self-esteem, referring to herself as a mid, which is generous, and going to therapy about her low self-esteem. But she's talking about, oh, all my detractors, they're just mentally ill. I'm so much better than them. It's crazy. And for no reason. We're criticizing her for no reason with this video alone. For no reason. Because, you know, I don't need a fucking reason. It's fun. It's funny. Like, this is hysterical.
talking to
That's
Doug
my
MPA,
reason.
and Doug MPA was like, this reaction channel, right, has made so many videos about you. Aren't you gonna celebrate? Like, why aren't you celebrating? And I'm like, look, Doug MPA, I just was never meant to hear their opinion. My mistake was actually taking their opinion seriously in the first place, because when I first skyrocketed to fame, I wasn't really used to all the hit pieces, right? So, you know, it's kind of human nature. We're egotistical. So you want to hear what people have to say about you. And on the internet, when it's all negative, you're like, dang, what did I do? You know?
She still doesn't know what she did. Did everything but brush her hair. She's out here like, why am I gonna listen to their opinion? Does she think that she's intelligent or entertaining? Like, she's on the same level as the Quartering. And her channel performs probably even worse than his, which is saying something. That's crazy. Maybe they perform the same if Quartering didn't pay for ads. But she's like, I listen to their opinions. I don't do it anymore. That's what she says in the video. And it's like, you did. That's why you started putting on your nasty, old, expired looking eyeliner. And why you started switching it up.
Or maybe, you know, and what I realized in the long run is a lot of these people, they're just kind of losers, right? You always assume that the highest IQ people are famous. I think when you're young, when you get old, you realize, I think older people's opinion of celebrities is much more accurate. It doesn't mean they're the most intelligent people. And a lot of times when these reaction channels go live, you kind of realize they're not entertaining, they're not funny, they can't string thoughts together.
Oh, unlike Pearl. Let me give you some lore. Pearl Davis got her career started from copying Kevin Samuels' talking points. Copying a black man's talking points, all right? That's how she got her start. She didn't have her original take on it. No, she just straight up copied him and other people too in the manosphere. And she wants to talk about intelligence or entertainment. Girl, you had 150 live viewers on your 2 million plus subscriber channel. What do you mean? You're not entertaining? You just say the same. She just says the same thing over and over. She doesn't make any good points. She just finds a way to demonize women to appeal to her audience. That's all she does, and it's the same thing every time. It's no matter what it is, and you guys will see it later. I know you're hesitant to hear me out. You're hesitant to think, oh, well, maybe you just don't want her to be critical of women. No, you will see later on. But she has some nerve to talk about, oh, you know what, they can't string thoughts together. You haven't had an original thought in your whole fucking life. Has anybody gotten any ideas from Pearl? Who says, oh, she really was insightful and opened my eyes to this? Nobody. I cannot believe these words came out of her mouth and she's like laughing about it. The amount of cope. She is ODing on copium right now. Like, you want to talk about, I don't want to hear the opinions of these people that aren't entertaining, can't string things together. Not only did you steal talking points from Kevin Samuels, not only that, but I don't want to hear opinions from a woman who doesn't know how to run a fucking brush through her hair. And you lost and ruined your career when you argued against Anna Kasparian. She had you mute. Crickets. You were silent for so long that if I played the entire time of you being silent, that it would have given you an opportunity to copy strike me. That's how embarrassing it was. It was the worst debate in recent time, in the past like 5 years or so for YouTubers. She could not defend her worldview that she bases her entire career off of. Her entire career off of why the red pill is good and why women are always bad in every scenario possible. And because it benefits her because she's always jealous of them, always trying to have to make herself look better than them. But she was silent that entire debate. Where was that energy there? And then on top of that, not only was she humiliated by Anna Kasparian in front of the entire internet. She proceeded to then pretend to take the L. She hopped on her live stream and was like, guys, no, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I have to, I just have to take the L. Sometimes, that annoying tonality she has. And it's like, you couldn't take the L. Because she said that, and then you fast forward through the stream, and she's talking about how she would have bodied Anna Kasparian. She would have physically fought her, but there was security there stopping her, and that was the only thing stopping big girl Pearl from stomping on little Anna Kasparian, okay? She would have Sasquatch walked all over her. She literally entertained violence because Anna Kasparian whooped her ass intellectually so bad, and it completely made her have no credentials, no place to speak on anything about the manosphere or the red pill, anything adjacent to that. She could not defend her worldview whatsoever. And then, the entire internet's seeing this. We're all seeing this. It's clear as day. You could not argue that she won the debate, okay? She's over here saying, I took the L. She proceeds to then edit the debate deceptively and clipping out little things and spamming it on her channel as if she won and putting titles on it like, oh, Anna talks about her husband like this. And then she's on her stream saying, oh, I would have fought her if someone wasn't there. I would have totally fought her. I would have gotten into a fight. I thought about it. Pearl Sasquatch mocking Anna. Yeah. Because she got her ass whooped intellectually so bad that she had to resort to violence while pretending to take the L. Deceptively editing her cope edits to spam on her page, her slop. She's just like Jeremy. She spams slop all over her page. YouTube slop. Trying to make it look like she did something when she lost the debate harder than any YouTuber in the past 5, maybe even 10 years. Like, how does it feel, Pearl? How does it feel that Anna Kasparian completely made you look like a fool? Like you're not anybody to listen to because you couldn't defend your worldview that you based your entire career off of. And that she used my video to help her do it. How does it feel, Pearl? You couldn't defend the manosphere at all. But yet she's making a documentary, guys. Did you know that? She's making a documentary about divorced men. Which is really just a way for her to demonize women, of course, again. We'll get into that. Her mommy issues. We'll get into that. But really quick, let me tab out to something for you guys really quick. So in this video, you guys remember the screenshot I showed you earlier where she once again looks unkempt, unbrushed, and sloppy, as she does all the time. She talks about how black people have no idea how disrespectful they are. Okay, and you might say, oh, well, let me hear her out. But me hearing this made me think about the absolute hypocrisy. It was around this part.
Christian white woman, not a real job. Just likes to read the Bible and tell you what it said. Like, they feel really important because they read things and tell you what they said. But the real people that know, like if I watch a lead attorney stream, he's gonna have way more insights that I would respect than somebody that just reads studies all day, you know?
Unlike her, because she could not cite anything. She could not fact check herself. That's actually why I started my video on Pearl, back when nobody was covering her whatsoever except for like 1 or 2 lefties, was because she would just say statistics and then they would be complete bullshit. I would look into it and it would be complete bullshit. And that's how Anna Kasparian knew at the debate that Pearl couldn't back her stuff up, and that's why she pushed her, because she watched my video. She came in here and said that. She learned that from my video. So it's very interesting hearing that from her.
Because anyways, so the black woman comes on and, you know, she comes on, she interrupts people. She won't submit to the rules. That's the crazy thing. if I'm the host and I want to give somebody more talking time because they're more entertaining than you, that is my right. And I can do that. And when I go on a Pierce Morgan panel, a lot of times I am overtalked, but it's not my show. So I just, I smile and I wait and I submit to the rules of the show. But
you submit to every man in any mile radius because you are a doormat. But that aside, so she talks about, first off, her muting people, and she goes on the video to say that she's actually gracious and like waits a few times before muting people. You guys remember Lila Rose, where she muted her several times because she just didn't want to engage with her? And she's like, Pearl, if you do it again, like, I can't engage with you because you're literally muting me. And then she did it again. Yeah, so Pearl will just mute people because she doesn't have an argument. There are times to mute people, of course, if it's like really, really like overbearing, but she's trying to paint it that way, but it's not. And we've seen the instances where she likes to mute people because she doesn't have an argument and she can't defend herself, just like she couldn't defend herself at the debate. Second of all, she talks about how Black people lack submission, okay? You're damn right. That's why I'm going to run you over right now with this. She is talking about lack of submission, yet she had to threaten violence against Anna Kasparian because she got her ass intellectually whooped. But you're gonna talk about Black people? You're gonna talk about Black people's lack of submission to you. Pearl, no, like literally who wants to submit to you? Who are you? You don't do anything. You don't make any good points. You're not interesting. You're not entertaining. Literally, people forgot you even existed until this stream. You had 150 live viewers on your 2 million sub channel. Who are you? The debate you were in, you lost miserably, and it completely discredited your entire career. Your entire career. With little effort. Anna Kasparian had a whole thing prepared for you. With this little effort. And you're talking about lack of submission, and you threaten to fight her? You're not one to talk about lack of submission. So, quite literally, she is walking hypocrisy. It is like you could click any video and just break it down like this. I don't even have to try. So she should not talk about how other people don't submit to her and her show and they don't submit to the rules of the show when she's out here having to threaten violence against Anna Kasparian because she's actually like 5'2" or 5'3" or something. And Pearl has to walk around with her Sasquatch stance talking, yeah, I could beat women up, yeah. Ew. Maybe you wouldn't feel like you have to beat other women up who actually take care of themselves and brush their hair if you invested in one of these. So that's what I wanted to say about that. But quickly gonna tab back into the copium because there's one more thing I want to show you guys from that video of her coming at me like a coward, which she is. She's a coward. I was gonna fight her. No, you're a coward. And a cry bully. Literally have a video titled Cry Bully with Pearl in it.
They're not funny. They can't string thoughts together. And
you only have one thought. String them together, you're lucky to get one.
Almost get to the point where you're like, I took the opinion seriously of a woman that lives with cat poop on her floor.
I never took your opinion seriously, Pearl. And I don't think anybody else does either. And I certainly am not going to take your opinion seriously when you refuse to run a brush through your hair. So
that's whose opinion I took seriously. Like, I took the opinion seriously of a guy who's like, who let a girl baby trap him within 5 months and was like trying to get her to like, why would my mistake?
Okay, she goes on about other people there. I think it was around here. Somewhere like right here.
Most of the time, like if I've ever been mean to someone, it was actually my lack of patience. Like I get annoyed kind of easy, and sometimes I'll talk shit when I'm annoyed.
She's a nice girl! Guys, Pearl's a nice girl! Whoa, buddy! She's a nice girl. She's just like Jeremy, who's a nice guy. She's definitely a nice girl with her catfish award show and the list of other things. Literally, if you just scroll down her Twitter, it's just all day her being jealous of women. All day. nonstop. Made many videos on this. But she's a nice girl. She's not like those other girls. She's autistic and she's a nice girl. She's not like those other girls. Insane. Okay, before we get into her documentary, we have to get into some of the files here, I think. So, for context with her relationship, I think we need to give some context for that, because I mentioned she is a sugar baby earlier. So this is said sugar baby. Okay, he's having to try to flex his arm up for the camera, and he keeps coping about not being black because he's Afro-Latino and he looks black, and he's like, haha, see, like, I'm joking about it, but no, actually, like, he actually thinks this because you can tell through what Pearl says. She's like, he's not black, he's Dominican. There was a whole Twitter thing, and she said this. He's not black, he's Dominican. Because her fans were like, or not her fans, but her critics. I think at this point it would be like, black guys would be her fan. But, because that's her type. But her critics were like, Pearl, you like, who was it? It was Morgan Ariel. She had said, Pearl, because they were going back and forth. Pearl's like, oh, you have STDs. And then Morgan Ariel said back, Pearl, you fuck black guys, you probably have. So that's when she's like, oh, he's not black, he's Dominican. So she's like coping about his race. She's like ashamed. She is ashamed that he is black. She is like not happy about it, okay? She loves black men. She has like a fetish for them. Her whole dating history is just black men. Every time you look into it, it's a black guy. Which, as you guys know, is career suicide in these spaces. So, unfortunately for her, she has to now continue this perpetual copium about her boyfriend not being black when he's clearly black and has black hair and wide black nose and a wide black mouth and is brown. But this is her and him together. That's her sugar baby. I'm sure there's lighter skinned Dominicans, but that have like more Eurocentric features, but he visually looks black, and she's ashamed of it. And you can really see it, for example, here. She says, I love black people, they're so friendly and fun. I just wish they would stop committing crimes. And then the person replies, so why do you sleep with so many of them then? And then she says, one black boyfriend, you can never live it down. She is retconning her dating history. Retconning. In real, like, she is currently with a black guy. And she was with a black guy before that. And I think there was one more that I was missing too, that she had dated. I had found in the research. So it's like 3 black guys, at minimum. 2 we know for sure. I think she had dated another black YouTuber. Not Wanya, but another one after that. And then her current one. So, for all intents and purposes, we know for a fact, between Wanya and the guy she's with now, she has dated multiple black guys. She's like, it was only one black boyfriend. She's so ashamed. She is so ashamed. That's how she's repping him. And he has to retweet, I know black, as a cope. Like, it's not in a funny way. I'm sorry, you can't be me. You guys will never be me. You can't pull it off. And as I said, with her push pins poking out her shirt, I don't think she's very happy with her sugar baby. And I say this not only because of everything we've witnessed thus far, but additionally, she was tweeting about clavicular, right? And you're like, oh, well, she's just saying I'm deceased. Well, first off, why is she pulling the Isabel Moody here? Why is she like drooling, being like, so funny? Like when women do that, the laughing slap your shoulder thing, they're laughing a little bit too hard because the joke wasn't that funny and they're extra high pitch. She's doing that here. And if you don't believe me, where she's like, I am deceased. If you don't believe me, here she is, randomly, unsolicited. She's unsolicited commenting on Clavicular's appearance. She's like, if Clavicular passes away, at least we know he died mogging. Why why are you bringing his appearance into this? Like, I do not think she's happy with her man, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't be happy either, but it's what she deserves. She deserves it. She deserves a man who treats her like something to rub their feet off on when they walk through the door after just cheating on them. That is what she deserves, because that's what she begs for. She says men should be, they should mess around. That's her ideology. She's red pill. So I think she, on some level, still knows, though, that she doesn't like that her man's talk on Twitter Spaces talking about his ex-girlfriend's ass being nice, which I posted in the previous Pearl video, if you missed that. I just happened to tune in. Guys, it was a random Twitter Space. I never listened to Twitter Spaces. I was just doing research for the video. I randomly clicked it, and I found that. And that's what I was listening to in real time, having to, like, screen record. So if I caught that on a random moment, imagine how much he's doing it. Imagine how often he's disrespecting her. Plus, he does it all the time on Twitter. He's always talking about other women and how they need to make a lot of money for him to be dating them. He's a sugar baby. He's leeching off of her and her wealth, her family's wealth. And if not that, for the clout. Because he always talks about how hot other women are, talking about his ex's ass. And so I don't think she's happy, and I think that's why she's posting her nipples to the world, and you know, she's retweeting. It's not like it was an accident, right? It's not like, oh, her nipples got hard and it happened to bleed through a bra. No, she's retweeting a girl staring at her nippies and talking about other men mogging, unprompted, unsolicited. So she is not someone to look up to for anything regarding relationships. And talking down other women. And here's an example, by the way, of him being a little bit of a okay. As I said earlier, she has an entire street named after her, right? That her family gave to her. She's daddy's little girl, right? Nuclear Caudillo, that's him. That's her sugar baby. He says to somebody else talking about Pearl. This is the only time I've, like, ever seen him defend her, by the way. And even when he does it, it has to be in this way where it's like him bragging about her money. He says, the only claim I have is that you're broke and that my girlfriend has a whole neighborhood named after her. She didn't earn that. It was given to her. She didn't work for this. What do you mean? That's not something she's not the person who paid for that. Her family did. It's not even like a husband paid for it. Her dad paid for it. Or her mom. Her mom's a boss babe. And the person he's replying to is Pick Me 9000. That's so funny. I just noticed that. So he's bragging about her wealth. In the one time he defends his girlfriend, his sugar mama, he's like, yeah, well, she has a lot of money. And by a lot of money, I mean her parents have a lot of money. How funny would it be if he divorced her and took her money? Man, that would be karma. But yeah, bragging about something that was given to her, something that she did not work for or earn in any possible way. It's crazy. That's the only nice thing he has to say about her. And even when he posts with her, it's I know black. He can't say something nice about her, right? And before you guys are like, oh, you're so hard on Pearl. I don't know why you would say that at this point, but if you do, just remember, she has no sort of forgiveness or grace for others, okay? Allie Beth Stuckey brought on I think it was a former porn star. I watched a little bit of it. And then Pearl retweets this post saying, these women have the sin of vanity. They're determined to be in front of the camera one way or another. And yes, this woman calls herself a pastor. So what she's saying is, and regardless if you agree, if you could be redeemed or not, whatever. My point is, Pearl is taking this woman who is trying to better her life, right? We don't know, we'll never know the intention because we're not in their brain. But she's like immediately like, shut it down. So she has no grace for other people. There's no, you can't, if you're a woman, you can't win with her. And I will show more of that later on. That's not the only example I have. And she also likes to talk about other people's accountability, like Lauren Southern. She retweeted this post. Okay, so just remember to hold Pearl to her own standards. And by her own standards, I mean constantly contradicting, because she's a contrarian and flip-flops constantly. That's why she does what she criticizes women for and posts pictures of herself, nips out, whatever. Because she's a contrarian. You know, she's talking about the hard truth about conservative women, but actually feminists are more submissive than conservative women. She regularly, in her content, is anti-marriage. She is, how do I say this? The devil would love to have her. The way she is so subversive in the way that she tries to operate. I'm hesitant to use the word subversive because she's not very intelligent, as we've seen. Like, she lacks basic self-awareness and stuff like that. But she will just be a contrarian and kind of be like, yeah, marriage is bad, don't get married. And it's like, yeah, of course the woman with who is dating a baby daddy, her black baby daddy, her one of her first boyfriends, I think it was the homeless one, and because she in an interview said that he's homeless. And it's like, of course you would be pro baby daddy, wouldn't you? Of course Pearl wouldn't want women to get married and have proper families, because she can't achieve that. She has to constantly be jealous of other women and claw down. It's never actual, like, it never comes from a good place of rational thinking from what I've seen. It always comes from a place of jealousy and projection with her. So it's like conservative women are actually, the feminists are more submissive. Actually, the OnlyFans girls are good. And she regularly says stuff like this, how OnlyFans girls are blah, 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 blah. She's very much contrarian. So she doesn't really have her own beliefs. So when she says, oh, these other YouTubers, they can't even string thoughts together, she doesn't even have a single thought. She doesn't even have one. She just has other people's. Like, on her live stream, I think it was around like 10 minutes in. Or maybe 20? Let's see if I can find it. I think it was over here.
We should all be under 150 pounds. Okay, this is...
Let me rewind a little bit.
And I think in life, there's just so many...
Oh my God.
Copes. And it's going to catch up to them. That's kind of a cope. A lot of them, they're queen. And she said 170 pounds is fat for a woman. The truth hurts. And they showed a...
Mind you, for most of her career, Pearl was overweight. Just want to remind you guys of that.
A picture here. They depicted an image of what black men are banging in America, and the Latinos, and the occasional skinny white guy. Okay.
She's literally talking smack about her own boyfriend. You date black men!
Which is a 5'4", 170-pound woman. And Rack on Twitter says 170 be around.
Where was it?
This girl says me at 170. Now look at this. Do you see how it's like loose around the waist?
Oh, I know you're not talking about someone else's fashion right now. There she goes again. Oh, women are always catfishing. Need I pull up the photos again? So literally, I just picked, you could just pick random spots in her stream and just find examples of this. I really don't need to sit here and spoon feed 100 examples, do I? Because it's just such a long history of it. But yeah, she is ashamed of dating her own sugar baby. I mean, I could see why. What was this one?
Being 170.
Oh, that was the live stream. Okay. So yeah, but you know, she can talk about the woman's appearance, but she can look like shit though. It's fine for her to thirst trap for her male audience and look like shit. And look very sloppy. So now we're gonna watch this video. It's called, I Realized the Entire World Was Pandering to Me. and she says, divorce doc is here.
What up, guys? Welcome to my coffee talks. Today I have a black coffee with half and half and sugar-free syrup. I also have a giant water. So a couple things. I realize there's a lot of new.
Girl, back up. You are too close to the camera. Back up. I can see every wrinkle. I can see every crevice of your crusty eyeliner. Back up.
Viewers that don't
I can see the grease dripping off of your fucking forehead.
know my backstory. For those of you that don't know, I was playing semi-pro volleyball in London when I started one of the biggest YouTube shows in the United States in 2023. So it was a live show where I debated women.
Hold on. We have an important super chat.
I'm starting to think you don't like Pearl.
No. What makes you say that?
Like 6 or 7 days a week at one point. Literally people running in and out of our apartment at the time. It was crazy. And this channel got huge. It got 1 billion views. I went on all these shows.
Boring.
So Pearl is
Boring
getting
intro.
reversed like Akash the comedian?
Yeah, she's like a female cuck queen, really. I would say she's a cuck queen based on everything I've shown in past videos and what she tolerates. But I think she has a little bit of resentment there based on how she's acting fresh for clavicular and posting her nipples for the entire world to see, which I'm not going to show you guys because it was very indecent for her to signal boost that.
Female Andrew Tate, I would say, like, objectively, that was, you know, the peak of my career. And then I got demonetized. And when I got demonetized, I really should have had a plan
Hi
in
from
place,
Moscow.
but I
Thank you
did
for
not.
defending
And
the
I lost
casino.
pretty much everything.
Thank
you know,
you.
For 2 years, I basically
I always wanted to see Moscow. I feel like I'll never get to see now. I would listen really quick. I would be so good in Russia. I would make it. Okay, I don't know if like maybe they would discriminate because of my hair. I'm not sure. I would need someone from Russia to tell me if I would get by. But I feel like just naturally, like I would make it. I would do so good there. You don't have to be super polite with like framing things right, and you can just say it how it is. And they have good beauty stuff there that isn't even that expensive, and it's normal there to try to look good and get stuff done. Like nails are super cheap. I don't know. I think I would thrive in Russia if, you know, it weren't in its current circumstances. Maybe I'm delusional. Correct me if I'm wrong.
no income. And this was really unfortunate because my whole goal of the show was I wanted to make a documentary on divorce.
Nah.
So when I first got into media, I had very
I would rock a
traditional
fur
right-wing
coat. Come
conservative
on.
views. I was raised in a maybe not traditional, but a Catholic area, right?
Big cities, no
and
one give you a second look.
I
Hey, that's kind of. I'm watching you.
really didn't understand why men didn't want to get married. And so I started kind of looking into it and interviewing men that were victims of divorce rape, which is essentially when
Both
a woman
Pearl and
fleeces a
Jeremy
man for
gazing
everything
in their
he
time.
has, puts him on absurd amounts
Thank
of
you
child
for the
support,
$5.
takes his children. And the more I listened to like the men's stories in this, the more I realized like
The more I listen to this-
are the only Floyd who makes me low ol.
Well, thank you, Tuxedo. I think black women are funny, but that's just me being biased. Every time I see a funny woman, it's always like a woman of some brown variation. No offense, but like that's just something I noticed, and it's mostly black women. But anyway, fuck, what was I gonna say?
a lot of the more I
What'd she say?
listened to like the men's
Oh yeah, I started listening to men, listening to them talk about how women suck, and I was like, yeah, so true. These modern hoes.
stories in
Every
this, the
video.
more I realized like a lot of the stories I heard growing up just were not true. And interviewing these men gave me a completely different perspective on my childhood. Like, for example, there was somebody in our town that his reputation
Also, really quick, I would thrive in Russia because they have a law against GMOs there. Like, I could just eat anything, and like nothing will have corn in it. They took this from me. Ukraine took this from me. Russia also took this from me. Who else do I blame? Probably the US. We probably supplied fucking weapons or something. The government took this from me. I could have had fucking borscht at ease. Just go around the corner or something. Anyway, sorry.
Gave me a completely different perspective on my childhood. Like,
the documentary's
for example,
not out yet.
There was somebody in our town.
She's talking about it.
His reputation was an alcoholic who drank a lot, right? And
can I like, will you guys be mad if I like tab out and just have the audio play? Like, it's just, it's a lot to have her full screen up close like this. It's a lot for me. I'm being honest. It's a lot. Like, this much exposure to Pearl is a lot on my psyche.
I realized that he drank a lot because his wife stole his kids, you know? And
notice how men never have autonomy. Notice how men are never, he can't be an alcoholic because of his own addiction, because he chose to drink. No. It was because the woman took his kids away. So actually, it's her fault. It's actually her fault for him becoming an alcoholic. Now, obviously, I could see the line of logic where it's like, yeah, if something traumatic happens to you, maybe you drink to help cope with it. But having this victim mindset is like, it is removing autonomy from men, as if they can't control themselves. They always have to succumb to addiction because of the evil women's. This is a terrible, weak mindset. This creates weak men.
it was just like a lot of little things like that where at the time you kind of believe the woman because you think who would lie about a man being abusive or a man being a bum or a man, you know, being XYZ. And then you get older and you're like, oh, her, right? Like that woman was lying. And it also...
You see what I mean? So this really puts the framing in perspective, and that's why I have to play this, guys. Stay with me here. The framing of her documentary is deeply rooted in her mommy issues. It is deeply rooted in her jealousy toward other women. That is what this is about, and that's why I'm playing this for you, so you understand what her nefarious motivations are. It is not to help men. It's not to help men that wrongfully had children taken away from them. That is not the intent here. The intent is for her to continue this grift and to continue to crowdfund from her viewers to pay for this documentary because she failed to do it before. She tried doing it before and she wasted the money and she failed, and her business failed, her YouTube failed. She had to move back home because daddy's money ran out. He didn't want to keep her on bankroll because she's wasting it, so rightfully so. And now she's crowdfunding it. She raised $58,000. She's asking for $1 million, by the way. She's asking for $1 million for this shitty documentary. Okay? And her fans, they're dumb enough to pay for it. Crazy. So understand why she's doing this. She continues, it's really giving Jeremy, isn't it? She's doing the same, it's like the same beats as it plays along. In the same way that he grifted off of his audience and spent the money. And even though he comes from, he's wealthy, and also like her comes from a wealthy background, she has, but it's like, no, but guys, I need you to pay for this documentary. I just need $1 million, guys. I need $1 million. Or else the men are just gonna keep getting their children taken away from these evil women. That's how you solve it. And she'll get into what she thinks her documentary did. She even admits like her documentary is not going to do much, but she has a belief that it'll have like a positive outcome, which is like, your intent is very clear. You just want to grift money again. Like, it already failed one time. She's doing it again. Already was on her dad's payroll. Already wasted that money. Could not make her YouTube profitable. Still can't make it. Like, she cut a lot of her staff down, but she still is way, way, way underperforming because she's not talented. She's like a useful idiot. If you want to use her to say something, like if you're, like let's say Fresh and Fit and you wanted to use her, you want to rub your feet off on her, then yeah. But that is her purpose. So no, I do not think she's the person to make like intellectual documentary about men wrongfully losing their children, how women are actually the whores, and like that is her angle. That is actually her intent and her angle, as we've seen. But then somehow, when it comes to actual OF women, by the way, then she's like, actually, the OF models are actually good and better than the conservative. It's the contrarian bullshit. It's insane. She says, I think divorced men are more cucked than men openly dating OF models. She even uses OF models. Because divorced men are paying for the house of some other guy banging his wife, where the OF BF is getting paid by a bunch of simps to bang some young broad. She just has a very twisted mind. It's always these contrarian takes. Nothing makes sense. Nothing follows through. So all women are whores except the actual ones. It's insane.
Doing this divorce documentary, I realized how much more difficult the world really is for men. So I sort of realized my whole life was a lie. So I grew up, I had 2 married parents, and for those of you that have watched me for a while, I adore my father, my dad. He told me I got to stop talking about him on this show.
Her dad doesn't want to be in the content.
Because he doesn't
He hates her channel. He hates what he funded.
like the attention, but he's really cool. Just a small part of the story. And one of my favorite memories of my dad growing up, I'm like, Dad, how am I supposed to not include this in the story? You've made my life. I'm like, you are the most impactful.
So notice, so it's great that she has a good relationship with her dad, right? You want daughters to have good relationships with their dads, because why? Well, they end up being like OF girls otherwise, or worse. So obviously this is not to say it's a bad thing. However, I do want to bring your attention to the fact that she's not saying anything nice about her mother. And this isn't a one-off. This is a continued thing with her, a repeated pattern of behavior. I notice that she has this weird thing about her mom.
Person on my life up to a certain anyways.
I'm gonna let her finish the point, and I'm gonna
my
show you guys
dad
something.
always taught me to work hard, and he would, there was a time where I was like crying because
He didn't tell you to work smart. I think that's for a good reason. But anyway, let me show you guys something about her mommy issues. Pearl always has these thumbnails and titles that are like, women don't know how to repent. Women always bad. Right? Or even this one. This one I randomly saw on my YouTube feed. Fathers create joy while mothers destroy. She has her own little sayings. Like the one she was saying to Anna Kasparian. She has her little sayings. So she clearly has something out for her mom here. The way she constantly says it. And I want to show you guys a little nifty thing about Pearl. She makes a lot of tweets about nannies. She's a nanny hater. Now, I'm not here to comment on the position of hating on nannies, whatever. I think it's more ideal for you to raise your own children, but to each their own. And she talks a lot about nannies and not liking them. And she says, the real red pill is we barely have any real mothers because the state daycare and nannies are raising the next generation. Most mothers don't even raise their kids. They send them to daycare school or nannies. Well, how would you know that, Pearl? Unless... Yeah. That's her mother saying, we had nannies. So, this entire premise of her channel, the topics she speaks on, the titles she creates, this documentary she's working on that she frames as a way to help men, it is all a way to get out her jealousy of women and her personal mommy issues because her mother had nannies. And she is upset about it. And she's gonna make everyone else pay for it. Because why not be evil, right? Make everyone else pay for your issues.
I couldn't figure out how to do math or some bullshit. Women cry, right? And my dad told me when I was young, he said, you work hard. Hannah, my first name's Hannah, for those of you that don't know. He said, you're a hard worker. You work really hard. And I promise you, I would take an employee, because he owned a big software company, that works hard over a talented employee every day. And in my life, this really panned out for me. Like, this kind of stuck in the middle of my head, or in my head.
Did it really? Did it really pan out for you with your 150 live viewers? Did it really pan out for you when your channel is basically dead? This is her last call, her last battle cry to try to get her grift out. Her final grift. Please, guys, please pay $1 million for my documentary. That's totally not because of my mommy issues. Did it really pan out? Are you really a good worker?
And I've always been kind of odd.
Miss Boss
I've always been
Babe
kind of
here.
weird. So I never, I would say, had a traditional like social life, because I was always kind of more interested in whatever I was doing, you know. There's pros and cons to that, and I can go into that in a different video. But so I was really into athletics. So when everyone else did one sport, I did two sports. And anyone that played with me back then could attest that I worked incredibly hard, and for a woman. And so I started.
She had to throw it in there.
On the bottom team of my club, I worked my way up to the top team. I was on the third team, and then I worked kind of
Okay,
odd.
she's
Like, I've
rambling.
always been kind of weird.
Oh, wait, what was
like,
that?
This kind of stuck in the middle of my head, or in my head, and I've always been kind of odd. Like, I've always been kind of weird.
She's weird. She's a freak. She's not desirable. Sorry, I had to point that out. By the way, on my end, my internet's dropping every so often. There's nothing I can really do about that. But anyway.
And I'm just this talented, amazing person. However, it was pointed out to me that I was only famous because I was a woman, or I'd only been in this position because I was a woman. And when I first heard this, it was offensive. I'm not gonna lie, I was offended, because in my head, I didn't have management. I didn't work for any of these big companies. A lot of the stuff that the other girls take for granted, like when Brett Cooper crashed out on the Daily Wire, for those of you that don't know.
So let me get this straight. Pearl, who is anti-feminist but defends OnlyFans girls, is now saying that she's checking her privilege. Am I hearing that right? That Pearl Davis is checking her privilege right now. But quick to point her fingers at feminists as she checks her privilege. But it's okay, it's for her, it's for the guys. She's checking her privilege as a woman, and it benefits her male audience, okay? It's okay if it's red pill. You don't understand. It's red pill to check your privilege, okay?
Other right-wing e-girl worked for the Daily Wire and got famous that way. I looked at her and I was just thinking, like, I had to learn to edit myself. I had to learn to do X, Y, and Z. Or I had to find people. I had to take the risk of, like, paying people. Like, and sometimes that blew up in my, you know, blah, blah, blah. Who cares, right? But
so she's like, oh, it's because I work hard. And it's like, no, it's because you pander to your audience and you steal talking points from other men, like Kevin Samuels, because you don't have any original thoughts. Which is why you lost the debate versus Anna Kasparian, couldn't actually defend your position that you based your entire career off of. So you have no actual original or coherent thoughts. So you're basically here because your daddy paid for it and then you failed. And then now you're trying to grift off your audience again by trying to raise $1 million for this documentary.
in my head, it was all because I worked hard. But then I would meet, like...
No, it's because you stole talking points and your daddy paid for it.
For example, I use this guy Terrence in the industry. He's going to be in the documentary. Terrence and getting more insight into the life of men made me realize, sorry, you guys are probably thinking, what does this have to do with the doc, Pearl? It made me realize that, oh, wow, I am a DEI hire. And
she's a DEI hire. She's talentless. She contributes nothing. She said it. Oh my God, she actually said it. She actually admits why we shouldn't listen to her or her documentary that she wants $1 million for. Whoa, buddy. So I don't know why she's talking about her enemies take themselves out. I think Pearl's the one taking herself out here.
Women everywhere are pretty much DEI hires because we think our work is equal to men's. It made me reevaluate, my brothers growing up. I went further in my athletic career, meaning I played in college. Even though, looking back, my brothers are more athletic than me, both of them. I mean, they're both like, my one brother, I forgot what his, he's so funny. I sent him that video of, so I ended up
skipping,
making a bunch of money, having a big show, and then having it all taken essentially, because they kicked me off of everything, etc. This was actually a very good experience for me because.
So she's saying she got kicked off of YouTube in the sense that she got demonetized.
It humbled me a lot. So that was
not enough. Not enough. Clearly.
Are doing and you just start to notice how much easier men make your life. They do a lot of things that you don't really like notice. So I'm trying to make this documentary. I get demonetized.
Wait. What did she say right before that?
Really are running it. I've kind of talked about this before. White men are doing and you just start to notice how much easier men make your life. They do a lot of.
She just said that white men make her life easier. That white men are building everything. Her boyfriend is black. Absolutely felted. Guilty of felting your black sugar baby. Absolutely guilty of humiliating your sugar baby. She just straight up said, yeah, the white men are contributing to society. Not my Afro-Latino sugar baby, but white men, the men she doesn't date. Insane. I mean, it's not like he doesn't deserve but like, she wants to talk about other women, how they humiliate their husband or whatever, like she did with Anna Kasparian in her little clip-ups and highlights. So, it's really interesting.
I see, I've kind of seen every horror story in the book. I've seen men, marry trad wife virgins that screwed them over. I've seen men marry Orthodox Catholics who screw them over. I also had to re-look at all the things from when I was younger, and you kind of look in hindsight and realize how bad, like, some of the wives were.
Why does she look up like she's trying to think, but she can't?
Like, just how many women where I grew up would just humiliate their husbands on Facebook. And you don't really think about it,
See? All these other women are humiliating their husbands on Facebook. Meanwhile, she's like, yeah, this other race of man, he runs the world. Unlike my sugar baby that uses me for my money, my family's money.
But
all these other
it's just
women.
So normal, right? But you just look back and just see like the subtle disrespect, how all the jokes like made at their husband's expense. And you're like, damn, these women are terrible wives. Awful. And it's partially the husband's fault, right? Like if you don't correct your wife ever, you can't be shocked.
So basically what she's saying, she's selling this fear mindset. She's saying that, well, that's what all these things do. It's the red pill shit. It's like, here's the solution to something. Here's my one-stop remedy. Here you go. And it's selling a lie because that's what sells. It's like, oh, here's your solution. But the truth of the matter is, it's just a fear mindset, and nothing you can possibly do will ever prevent pain. You will not avoid it. You could do everything right and still have it go wrong, because tomorrow is never promised. So every time you hear something being sold as like the solution to all your problems, it's bullshit. It's a scam. The red pill is a scam. It's a scam to take money from men who are disgruntled. It's a scam to take money from men who are not successful with women or have trauma with women that they were with, and abusing their sexual urges and pushing OnlyFans girls in their face so that they keep getting a bigger and bigger hit every time they tune into like Fresh and Fit. And suddenly the OF girls, OF goes up, and suddenly she's making more money. It's because it's a symbiotic relationship. It works in tandem, where you have the Red Pill podcast, and then you have the OF girl, and they're trying to act like, you know one episode of Boondocks where it's like the two political people are pretending to hate each other and they're laughing off camera? That's what it's like. They have these OF girls on, they boost their career, they have sex with them, they have a relationship, they'll have anything with them, right? And constantly surrounding themselves with them, rewarding their behavior, right? They're making so much money off of these podcasts. And it's because when the guys tune in, they're getting addicted to whacking off to the girl. So they tune in for the next episode to see, oh, who's the next girl? Who we got this time so I can buy it. And it's an addiction. It's hijacking men's brains to make them addicted to it, while making it seem like, no, we're actually speaking against those thoughts. Those thoughts are bad. And then they just boost their OnlyFans. And they're making tons of money off of their fans that they're claiming to help and self-improve, and how it's the solution for them to be successful. It's to get them addicted to, and it's incentivized. It is incentivized for these people to keep their viewers miserable and single. Because as long as their viewers are miserable and single, they'll continue to give people like Pearl Davis money for her fake documentary that she's just using for her mommy issues. And it'll continue to give people like Fresh and Fit money, because as long as they're single and unhappy, they'll keep tuning in. Oh, I need more and more and more. I need more advice on how to solve my life. I need to look at the next thought, the next OF thought. I need the next hit. Oh, but yeah, she sucks though. But let me pay for her OnlyFans. Let me boost her OnlyFans. And that's the grift. That's how it works. It's playing off of people's fear and their insecurities. And Pearl does the same thing. She is instilling fear that this is the solution. That, oh, you shouldn't get married. You should stay single. Why? So they can give Pearl money. That's why. Because she's desperate for male validation. The best you can do in life is to make educated choices. You are not promised tomorrow, and you can do everything right, and I can almost promise you that not everything will go right. You could do all the things. You could go for the right college major, or maybe you don't go to college at all because you're told it's a scam. You could learn how to have all the skills. You can look smacks. You can do every fucking thing you can think of. But unfortunately, there's this concept that exists called people lying. People will lie to you. Your family will lie to you sometimes, in some cases. Sometimes it's a significant other. Sometimes random occurrences happen. Sometimes there's a national disaster. An earthquake can happen. Literally anything can happen. You cannot guarantee avoiding pain. And that's what they're selling. They're selling you a painkiller, a fake painkiller. It's a fucking placebo. And they're telling you to take it, that if you keep supporting them, you'll avoid pain. No, you're not. You can literally do everything right and get struck by lightning. It's bullshit. It's a grift to take advantage of the men that she's claiming to help, just like all the other red pill manosphere people.
When, she becomes a terrorist and you're not willing to leave, right? Can't be shocked that she is an emotional terrorist.
Yeah, women are just emotional terrorists. Make sure you donate to her funds. Make sure you donate to her documentary, because all the other women are emotional terrorists, but not Pearl.
But
her mom's an emotional terrorist because she hired a fucking nanny because she had to work.
Concept of this documentary is,
sorry to pause it again, but that really, it really does stem from an internal place with her. Because she demonizes her mother, she has to demonize other women. And that works well with her audience's psychology, because they need an explanation for life. They need an explanation for why things aren't working for them. It makes them feel better.
But so the concept of this documentary is called What's in It for Men. Terrence Popp, I don't know what I'm going to call him, because he's been so helpful on this.
What's in it for men? You see, do you see how divisive this is? She is divisive. She does not want people getting married. I would go as far as to say she's antinatalist. She does not want functional, that's what commies want. They want like communities to raise kids, which is how kids get touched, by the way. Like, have you seen public schools? But like, the statistics, but anyway. Like she's essentially doing that. She has like this kind of commie position on this stuff. It's like, yeah, we need baby daddies, actually. That's what she wants, because she wants that for herself, because she dates baby daddies, right? She's dated a baby daddy before, the black baby daddy that had kids that weren't hers. So, you know, because she feels like she's only good enough to do that, all the other women that she's jealous of should also be subjected to that. Nobody can be happily married. They have to, no, oh, don't go into marriage. It's really bad. Okay, if you want to, but it's really bad. It's so divisive, and it's for her to make money. Like, the devil would love Pearl. How divisive she is. And the way that she does not want other people to be happy and married, and constantly says, oh, well, you shouldn't. What's in it for men? Just say you want a baby daddy and be done with it. Just say you want to be a single mom and be fucking done with it.
Executive producer or something. He's working on it too. He's going to be a subject. And we're going to all facets of society and just asking, what do men get out of marriage? And nobody really has an answer. I don't have an answer. So it's going to be cool.
So then don't get married, Pearl. Then don't get married. Easy solution. Don't need to spend $1 million on a documentary to ruin everyone else's happiness and what they feel like they get out of a marriage.
And
she literally cannot process the concept of like a happy relationship. And that's really sad. It's really sad that that's the case for her when she had such. Remember what I said about how you could do everything right? Her parents were rich. And she still ended up like this. So quite literally, like, sometimes you just get a bad egg. She's a bad egg. She's a rotten egg.
I think we're going to be done with it by August, the schedule has. So right now we're doing like 2 weeks of filming, so I'm only doing coffee talks. No, you don't understand.
I need to post my vlogs and my coffee talks while my camera's in my face, showing every line on my face and every little drip of fucking oil dripping down my face. No, you don't understand. I need $1 million to show why modern women are hoes. Please donate, guys. It's definitely for not nefarious reasons. I promise. I swear. You too hate those evil hoes. Am I right, guys? Like, what she thinks the point in this documentary is to what? The whole point is to further to divide.
And then I really am thinking of putting it out on Valentine's Day or Mother's Day just because.
She's evil. Do you see what I'm saying? Satan loves Pearl. Straight up. This is evil. It is. But because she's like smiling while saying it, therefore it's not. Therefore, oh, like, no, her entire ideology is that she's miserable and everyone else has to be miserable with baby daddies like her. Because she couldn't get the white man who constructed society according to her. And she's mad at herself for it, that she settled for someone that she views as lesser than because he's not a white man. Then what, you know, that's on you. If you settled on who you settled with, that's on you. Stop making everyone else pay for it. Miserable. Thank you, Brody says, for the $4.99. Yeah, feminist misogynists are in a culturally symbiotic relationship, both anti-romance. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It is very anti-romance. Valentine's Day has a violent undertone. She is purposely trying to disrupt it. She is trying to disrupt anybody from having a marriage and actually having children without having to have a baby mama and baby daddy because she's miserable. She wants to release on Valentine's Day. She's evil. Like, you think I'm the mean girl. She's evil. Just greasy things. No, her hair, like, the way her hair sticks to her head, though, you see that? You see how it's, like glued on? It's like, It's, you know how like, you know how if those old TVs, for example, how they have static on it, if you put like a piece of paper on there, it would like stick to it? That's her brain running on fucking overdrive, trying to formulate a fucking coherent thought, and her hair's just like shoop, sticking to her fucking head. Trying to formulate a single fucking thought. Trying to make sense. But she can't do it. So her hair's just stuck there. It's just stuck to her forehead.
Because I think it would be funny. And a lot of people say,
yeah, other people's misery is so funny. Haha.
Do you expect the system of marriage to change? My answer is no, I don't. Because it's just too expensive. All of society is just built for women to rule, unfortunately. My hope is
you don't understand. The women are oppressing the men. Who does that sound like? Horseshoe. But everyone else is the feminist, right?
actually for the kids. What I hope this can do, this film, is that daughters I have seen are the most affected by women's words. And there's a lot of daughters that have been turned against their father when they're young. My parents were together, and even my mom did this to me, right? So...
Throwing her mom under the bus again. What do I tell you? This is about her mom and her relationship with her mother. Go back to therapy, Pearl. Do something. Someone in chat said I shouldn't make fun of her appearance. I am making fun of... So Pearl is above having to run a fucking brush through her hair. Pearl is above buying some dry shampoo. She has the most manageable hair in the world. It's thin and straight. It doesn't get more manageable than that. Use some dry shampoo. Wash your hair quickly then. It's not like it takes hours to dry. There's not much. So, but Pearl should be above using a hairbrush, right? Pearl is above the hairbrush. Do you hear that, guys? She's above it. She doesn't have to, and you're not allowed to criticize her. In fact, you should go donate to her documentary instead. Says she can afford a brush.
I think it's
somehow with the $58,000 she couldn't afford it, but hey.
Really sad that a lot of daughters don't get the chance to reconnect with their dads. And my hope is actually that this film wakes up the kids to realize their moms are the manipulators, and a lot of times the dads are.
She spells it out for you. She literally says, my intent is to make it so that they realize that their mommies are actually the evil ones. But she's like trying to frame it as if it's like to reconnect people. It's not. This is the most divisive shit I've seen in a while. Reconnect, but it's literally the most divisive thing you ever seen, released on Valentine's Day, about men and divorce. I cannot. Like, how can you actually say this? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing going on up there.
I'm not saying they're all saints, but my father is. But while
her father is a saint, but her mother, no, she gets thrown under the bus. Okay. Her mommy is manipulative. Her mommy had nannies raise her. Her mommy was a boss babe. You see?
Flawed people, they're not these monsters that the mothers see. So that's really my goal with the film.
And by the way, I don't deny that there's the cases of moms manipulating whatever. I could definitely see that. I can definitely see that being a thing. But my point is that Pearl has nefarious reasons for doing this, and she's very deceptive, she's very divisive, and there is no intent of her doing anything positive. This is sheerly for her to grift off of and for her to profit, because this is her channel's last legs. Her channel is dead, and she wants to make her last few bucks. This is her saving grace off of men's insecurities and rage at women. So it's not about just any resolution. It's not about reconnecting daughters with their dads. She quite literally spells it out for you, what it's about.
I really wish I could sell you guys a dream and say I'm gonna, take down the whole court system. I'll try, but I'm just a woman, My hope is that.
Yeah, donate, because Pearl's gonna save the daughter's and father's relationship. Like, she has attempted to do so much damage to gender relations. It's crazy. And it didn't work because I exposed her, but like, you know, she could have gotten away with it. You know, I'm really glad that I decided to make that first Pearl video. I really am glad I went through with it. Because I did hesitate. Because I was like, I don't know. I feel like people are going to do the "you're just jealous" thing. That I feel like they're just going to go to the default criticism. Unlike Pearl, where it actually applies. Which I've shown evidence of. But very glad. Okay, so before I get into the next Pearl video, I just want to catch up on some of the donations because there is more. She talks about her documentary a little bit more and why we should be looking forward to it. But I want to read some of your guys' chats, so.
The lines in her face are, yikes.
A face a father could only love. Listen, she's the one who said it, not
What do
me.
men
She said
get
her
out of
daddy
it?
loved
A
her, not her
purpose,
mommy.
love, family.
No, but really when I say that, like, genuinely understand that she holds women to all these standards and doesn't hold herself to the same standard, and understand that I am commenting on her lack of self-care. Pearl, in a perfect world, could, like, if she did everything right, could be attractive, but she, just like the rest of her life, she chooses to throw it all away. So when I say that, I am talking about her hair that's stuck to her face. I'm talking about her lack of skincare. And I'm talking about her lack of investment in some decent eyeliner. I mean, seriously, guys, the eyeliner I use right now, it's some fucking Korean brand. It's Holika. You have to buy it on eBay now because they like sold out other places. Please don't rob me of the soft black. I need that one. That's the one I use. But that one's only like, even imported, it's only like $15. And then the liquid one I used for the ends, that one's like $6. She raised like almost $60,000 for her documentary. She can't afford better eyeliner. She has continuously done this. It's not like, oh, it's an experimental phase. Oh, she was bad looking one time. No, she chooses this on a regular basis. Pick a video. This is her average video. Basic self-care. So that's why she's constantly saying, yeah, this is only my dad could love me. Let's see.
What up, guys? Welcome to my coffee talks. Today I have a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I told you guys last coffee talk, I realized a lot of people don't know my backstory. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Pearl Davis. In 2023, I went pretty viral for being an anti-feminist. I was playing volleyball.
You also went viral for not brushing your hair.
Overseas, I started a YouTube show on the side, and it became one of the biggest YouTube shows in the United States. And I did that for about 1.5 to 2 years. And then
it's always the same intro.
They'll give you a reason why you were demonetized.
Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, Pearl.
And then it was something...
Listen, I'm not for, like, deplatforming whatever, but, like, the minors thing that she did where she was, like, saying weird stuff to them, and then, like, after she found out, she kept it up, and, like, they told her to take it down, the parents, and then she didn't take it down. She, like, proceeded to make it even bigger. So, I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't
say it was something with the...
Because, by the way, the reason I don't want to hear it is because she literally struck Sarah Garvey, a former contributor. I put that in the video. One of the first videos I made her. It was either the first or second one. I posted the proof. I got it from him. I messaged him and I got it. She struck him. She copy struck him because he didn't want to agree to her shitty contract where he would get, like, no money. So, freedom of speech, my ass, but Pearl, I don't want to hear. I really don't want to hear it. And until she, like, at least apologizes at the very least and makes some actual effort to rectify the mistake, I really don't want to hear it. Not that she should be given grace, because she doesn't give grace to anyone else, so.
The trans stuff, and then it was something, it was a generalization I made about a certain group, I'll just say that. Anyways, so what happens is when you get kicked off,
Dude, the sun beat her ass. She looks tired. She's shriveling up. Like, I want to give her a glass of water. It's making me thirsty. Her lips are like... I know my lips get like that because I talk on here for like 3 fucking hours straight. But like... Damn, you just got out of bed. You didn't do anything to get ready. You just threw on the shirt and turned on the camera. Shriveling up like that. Like a raisin to the sun.
Now you have 3 months to reapply. And when you reapply, in 3 months, you don't know how long it's going to take for them to get back to you. So let's say, I think I got demonetized in November, then it took December, January, February, and then I reapply. And there were times when YouTube got back to me in 1 month, and there's times when YouTube got back to me in 6. Now, that is a horrible way to run a business. You have no idea the income coming in. And it makes it very difficult to make business decisions. Like, do I fire 100% of my staff because I have basically no income?
You mean your dad's income. Your dad's income.
Or do I keep them at, like, thinking I'm going to get back in? Because the first time I got demonetized, I thought, I'll get back in 3 months. Now, this was a grave mistake because anyone knows when you have very little income and you're burning through expenses, that money goes pretty quick, right? So, anyway.
I hate her hand movements. Like, I know it sounds so petty. I hate her hand movements. She moves like this. She's like, do you see what I mean? Hold on.
Expenses, that money goes pretty quick, right? So,
like
anyways,
how fast it is like this. I
for
hate
me.
it.
But at the time, I felt very indebted to the people that worked for me because a lot of them
she
did a
doesn't
really
breathe
good job,
wrong.
and I didn't want to let people go when really they hadn't done anything wrong. Unfortunately, in business, you got to be cutthroat. I did eventually have to let them go because what started as what I thought was just going to be 3 months turned into 2 years. Never been in. Got a bunch of interviews. Didn't. He did the best he could. We both just did not. It was just a failure the first time around. So, anyways,
she's a failure. She can't run a business, even on her daddy's dime.
A camera from me that I thought I was friends with. I also hired. My staff was probably, I don't know, 75% black at the time, and really
her staff was black. She admits to it. So I want to put this into perspective for you guys. I've mentioned this one other time. All right, I'm going to put it on full screen to not torture you guys. So I mentioned this before. Her dad bankrolled her staff. She is on her dad's bankroll. She has said this on camera. I put it in prior videos, right? So with the context that you guys know, her whole dating history that we have to see is just black guys. Now, wouldn't you find it a little bit strange if, let's say, a guy had like an Asian fetish, right? And then he just happens to hire like 80% 20-year-old Asian women. You wouldn't find that a little bit strange? So essentially, her dad was funding this like black polycule. Like, she's just like, are these guys running a train on her? Why is she hiring a bunch of guys that are her type? And this was in London, mind you. So there's a lot of African immigrants. There's a lot of, like, just not even African American, like, not, because over here, our black people, they have like some white admixture and they're a little different than like Africans from Africa. So she's getting like African migrants and hiring them and paying them in London. And she's paying these guys that are exactly her type. They're exactly her type, and it's 75% of her staff? Yeah, it sounds like a black polycule to me that was ran on your dad's dime. That's what it sounds like to me.
A lot of them did a good job, but I learned that a lot of black people will call you racist for no reason. And two guys,
she's like, no, look, I'm not racist. I don't even want to make the motion, but she's just like, you know, like, it's a gavel. But
thought were my friends.
it's
they're
crazy.
dead to me.
It's crazy how she just openly says this stuff.
Racist for no reason. And two guys I thought were my friends, they're dead to me. Dead to me forever.
Yeah, because is one of which the one you copy struck? Because he didn't want to sign a deal with you?
Famous. Anyone that's managed talent knows that's a completely different skill in its own. We did have one pretty
Yeah, skill that you don't have.
successful one, Christine Grace Smith. She's awesome.
What did she say over here?
Anyone that do 5 projects at once to launch. My thought was, hey, I'm making no money. Let me try managing other YouTubers. I'll just, they're monetized. Let me plug them in my formula and make them famous. Anyone that's managed talent knows that's a completely different skill in its own.
Which she doesn't have, because guess what? It failed. It failed, and she had to move back home. And additionally, right now, she's talking about, it's a skill on its own. But she currently charges people thousands of dollars for advice on her website as we speak, by the way. She's literally scamming her audience, and she's like, yeah, I tried to run people's businesses and it failed. Charging thousands of dollars for her advice, her business advice.
Pretty successful one, Christine Grace Smith. She's awesome. She's doing great things now, and I'm really proud of her. But talent management, I just was not very good at managing. Obviously, I was not very good at managing people.
She's not good at managing, but she charges thousands of dollars on her website for her advice. Watch the previous video. I put the receipts in there. She's charging these simps thousands of dollars for her shitty advice that she just admitted doesn't work. If this doesn't prove she's a grifter, I don't know what does. I know the word grifter is thrown around a lot, but it's laid on pretty heavy here.
That was just not between the slave contract accusations of people I was really trying to help. And that was what was crazy. So the people I hired actively accused me as I'm pouring money into their shows of not all, by the way, this is not all of them, but they're actively accusing me of giving them slave contracts. And I'm like, wait, what?
She offered I think it was something like only 20% of the profit with Sarah Garvey. I would have to go back and watch the first video I made on her, or maybe it was second. I don't remember. But she offered it was ridiculous. It was 20% of a cut. Nobody in their right mind would ever agree to this. And they wouldn't agree to it because she is a failure. And because that's ridiculous. You have to actually be retarded to agree to that. That you're the consecrator, you're getting the 20%. You're getting the 20%. It's the other way around. Managers normally get the 20%. So she's talking about, they call me racist and said I was doing a slave contract. You mean the person? She's talking about the person she copy struck. So she has the audacity to act like she's so humble. She's better than all her critics. But she's like, haha, he called me a racist. He's so stupid for that. And then, he said it was a slave contract. And then you copy struck him, trying to remove his channel. Because he said no. But she didn't include that in there. No. But no, this is all BS. These are not valid criticisms, okay? These are just silly. How dare I make fun of her? How dare I make jokes at her expense? How dare I make points? Because they can't possibly be real. There can possibly be real critiques against Pearl Davis. Let's skip ahead.
In the military. And the idea is not really to change the system, although that would be nice, right? I do like to be honest with the audience. I am probably not going to change a $1 billion system that transfers wealth from men to women. But really, it's just to give young men and young women too the accurate information. My goal is to wake up more children that a lot of times they're brainwashed by their mother and their dad isn't the evil person. And also to wake up young
She just spells it out for you.
men to make sure you realize what you're, standing up for or signing up for when you get married. The choice of what to do with the information is up to you. I'm never here to tell men to not marry. If that's what
But literally, that's what she did. She's literally like, I'm going to release it on Valentine's Day about how miserable marriage is and how evil the women are, just like my mom. But she's, but I'm not being divisive. Me? Me, the person who just demonized the person who I copy struck? Me? Pearl Davis? Hannah Pearl Davis? I would
not
never.
marry. If that's what some of the men in the divorce documentary remarried, glutton for punishment, I guess.
See, she's laughing at their misery. Laughing. Ah ha ha. Because they got divorced and had to suffer. And she's laughing. She's laughing. She's laughing at you guys. She's laughing at her audience, all right? She's laughing at the men. And she's laughing away. She's laughing at her audience. Ah ha ha, you guys are getting tortured. So funny. Glutton for punishment. Oh, marriage is so miserable. But I would never tell anyone to not get married. But yeah, I guess they're a glutton for punishment. Ah ha ha. Please. Please, with your lies. Stop it. You're not good at lying. I mean, I understand she fundraised all that money. She wanted it to be $1 million, but it was 60,000. So I understand, like, she may think that she's smart for that, but it's actually because your audience was gullible and you hit pain points on them and manipulate them and sell them fear and then try to act like you're giving them the solution. But it's so funny. They're suffering so funny. Glutton for punishment. But I'm not divisive. I'm not telling people to not get married. Oh, but glutton for punishment. She literally associates marriage with punishment. What does that tell you? What does this gummy smile tell you? Look at her. She's genuine. Look, the crow's feet are there. Everything. The happy eyes, where her eyes are swelling up with joy because men are getting divorced. And oh, they were so stupid to get married. But I'm not anti-marriage, no. And she even titles, in her next video, she even titles it, "Divorce is the solution to women's
What up, guys?
Emotional terrorism." But she's not demonizing women. She's not demonizing marriage, right?
What up, guys? Welcome to my coffee talks. Today I have a sweet cream vanilla cold brew. I don't know if anyone cares. So I just thought I'd do a quick coffee talk to give you guys updates.
You'll never be me. I'm the Venti. I'm the coffee. I'm the coffee queen.
On the divorce documentary. So for those of you that don't know, in 2023, I was labeled the female Andrew Tate. They did label a few females this, so you can take that with a grain of salt. Which I thought was
to my video.
Funny because Andrew Tate, I like him, good dude. But I think we've lived different lives, you know what I mean?
Andrew Tate, a good dude. I'm just so tired. I can't even. Too many. The triangle is gonna break. If I can't do it. I'm too tired. It's been too much.
The cam stuff. That guy's lived a crazy life. So just
the man who, with his girlfriend Vivian, that when you do the math, she was under 18 when they started their camming business. Good guy, by the way. All of the different. We go through everything. No, it's just a matrix. Oh, it's the matrix. No, Pearl. Me calling you the female Andrew Tate was an insult. He's not a good guy.
In many words, you know.
Literally, like, what do you think he moved to Romania for? To get 18 plus women for his camming business? That's what you think? Yeah, okay. Number 4 in trafficking worldwide, by the way. Romania.
And I think they're I think they're ignorant.
At least last time I checked.
I would actually say they have blood on their hands in a lot of ways because they're recommending men have a traditional wife. And I've seen the worst stuff. I was talking to an attorney about this yesterday during the divorce doc. The guys that get it the worst are the men making like above average money, that don't have the skill set to really work for themselves. Because I'm the daughter of an entrepreneur. I think you either have the skill to manage people, you have that type of personality, or you don't.
She's admitting she doesn't have the personality to manage other people. She literally said she failed at it in the previous video. She literally said she failed at managing people. Guilty of grifting your audience with your fake management skills that you suck at. I can't, like, she does not listen to herself. She is over here, I'm gonna charge thousands of dollars to manage people. I'm gonna put it on my website so people can pay hundreds of thousands of dollars if they want to for my advice, for my business advice. But now it's, oh, you can either manage people or you just suck at it and you can't. Well, guess what, Pearl? You failed at it, so you fall into, you can't. So maybe you want to take that down. Maybe you don't want to give advice anymore, since you basically just admitted to scamming your audience by giving shitty advice. If anyone wants Pearl's advice, just remember to show them this.
So, when they have like, I thought women were nurturing when I went into this, and
women bad.
It made me realize that women are emotional and really domestic terrorists to some degree. I've interviewed guys living out of their car because of a woman. I've interviewed guys.
Literally, they're terrorists, guys. Literally, if you have a vagina, it's you're a terrorist. Like, if you open those flaps, it's a bomb going off. All right. It's just at every corner of women being demonized. It's insane how she walks around with these mommy issues.
It's like right in front of you, and you don't see it until you see it. The more my life sort of like, started falling apart in a lot of ways. Like I got demonetized. I would get these like ambush interviews. Like I'd go on H3, and I'm like, hey, do we not care about these guys not getting...
Okay, I think what this is, I think she just equates her losing an interview and looking bad by her own doing as an ambush. I'm pretty sure that's how she's framing it. Because did H3 even have anybody else on? I'm pretty sure it was just her. Where was the ambush? Sorry, Pearl, you either have debating skills or you don't.
Access to their kids.
I was ambushed. I was trying to help men and I was ambushed. The only time she'll actually talk badly about a man, this is the only time you'll see it, basically. When it gets in the way of her grift.
It's just like this crazy gaslighting. Or it's like the conservative men saying, trying to say, hey, I think...
Take your fucking earpods. I'm gonna trip out. I can't deal with Pearl in high doses. I can't. I'm like slowly losing my sanity. You could see like my hair slowly starting to poke out more and more, like I'm fucking crazy because I'm losing my mind that someone like this can actually exist. How does she subsist? Why do people pay for this?
These guys need their kids is pretty important, right? Like ambushes on shows. I've had so many friends crash out on me, and just, I mean, I'm almost traumatized making friends with a woman, because I don't know, like in 2 years, are you gonna learn a bunch of stuff about me, and then make a video in the least charitable, like...
She has no female friends! That's why her hair's all fucked up. She got no female friends to tell her how to fix it. I think she's over here like, they're not charitable, the women, they just turn on me. I think you think that you're charitable and you're not. I think we've seen that. She's not charitable. She's very unforgiving, actually. She actually shows women like zero grace and then just mimics what they do for attention while wagging her finger at the women doing said thing, whether it's makeup, showing their bodies, her showing her nippies. It's crazy. Like, if we had a lolcow ranking, is she above or below Jeremy, guys? I think she might be above. I think she might be. Like, if you had to think of it like this, if you had to sit down and get along with someone, who could you easier get along with? Now, I know it's a tough question between her and the court ring. I know. But, and they're both liars, right? So it's going to be hard to communicate either way. But I don't know, with Jeremy being a creeper, there's like an implied, almost like an implied threat there, especially with his vague threats he always makes. I don't know. It's close. It's close. Because, you know, Pearl threatens violence when she intellectually loses. Let's not forget.
Women never leave balanced reviews.
She's talking about herself.
It's never like, oh, she did this, that was good. It's always just like a list. And you know what's crazy about them?
Does she realize that she talks about herself a lot when she says these things? All right, let's move on to the next video.
What's up, guys? Today I have...
Let's skip her annoying ass intro, right? About, I went viral.
quote stats. You want to, you know, quote your studies. And you want to tell average Americans not to believe what's in front of their eyes. And that's why I wanted to make the divorce documentary. But it just seemed like it was so difficult to get this out because, you know, the more I talked about these issues, just the more screaming I got, right? And I think a lot of people in the MRA space or the men's space can attest to this. It's like the left is mad and the right is mad. And what you realize is society wants to trick men into marrying women because they don't know what to do with all of these women that aren't getting married. They don't know what to do with them. So this week,
so it's like, well, men are being tricked into marrying these women. Do men ever get to have autonomy? Can they ever be masculine? Are they allowed to do that? Or do they have to like get babied by Pearl? They have to get coddled by Pearl.
I really brought in like a comprehensive...
Because she's supposed to be anti-marriage, right? Even though she says she's not, we clearly saw she is. So she's against, like, oh, it's dangerous for men to get married. They shouldn't get married. She's making a whole documentary about it. She's literally crowdfunding for this. Begging for money. When she already failed doing this before and took the money, okay? But she's doing it again, okay? We have a Jeremy scenario here. She's taking money from her fans again. Just to make this bullshit documentary. And it's like, well, these women, like, they're the men are being tricked into marrying them. Like, she makes zero sense. It really makes zero sense. Just be happy be happy they're not getting married then. It's not her position. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What is your point? You're a contrarian. Get a blow dryer. Brody says $5. I'm shipping Jeremy and Pearl so hard right now. Me too. Like, he's female coded and she's male coded.
She was doing 5 projects at once. Dang, and her dad paid for it.
Most likely, yeah. Starting to catch on, huh?
As an Orthodox Christian, I say in a world full of pearls be a Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm older than her and yet she looks a decade older than me.
Here's the thing, she's looked like this since, like, this is the thing, she in college looked normal. And it was something about, like, she looked like Pearl, but it was different. She looked like she had life in her. And now she's miserable, and she looks miserable, and she has to make everyone else miserable. I mean, I guess I'm transmuting it, and I'm laughing at it. But at the same time, to have to logically think through her retardation, it cost me a lot of mental energy. But she just wants to spread misery, and it shows in her physiognomy. Like, people who are severely asymmetrical, guys, you really have to beware of them. People like Pearl who are very, very facially asymmetrical. It's not a good sign, especially in the eyes like that, where it's that severe. All right, want to do this video.
What up, guys? Welcome to my coffee talks. Today I wanted to tell you guys about an idea I had. This is my second coffee talk, but I realized I forgot to tell you guys about it.
Oh, actually, one thing before we go into this. There was something I wanted to show. Just to really hammer it home. That I'm not saying lay you hate women. Okay, she quite literally says all women are whores. And I've played this before, but
Future, she belongs to the streets. If you guys want this merch back, this was merch back in the day.
I think I played before.
And the reason I think that this was a good sweatshirt to have is because really, I think all women are whores. Pretty much every single woman has a whore.
She's a whore! So, in case you're wondering what her bias was for her documentary, in case you're wondering what all her tweets are about, where she's constantly jealous of other women and then mimicking them, I could give you an example. I saw her get at Leonarda, the stand-up comedian. She was getting uppity because Leonardo said no to Pearl being an opening act, and in the messages, Pearl was like, I could do stand-up comedy. People will think it's so funny. Aha, aha. And then Leonardo was like, sorry, I don't think women should be in comedy. It was a great response. And yeah, Pearl didn't seem too happy about that. So I thought that was pretty funny. That was a pretty good example of Pearl in action. Of, you know, rules for thee, but not for me.
So, some projects we have going on the next year. So as you guys know, I got kicked off of everything in 2023. I had to completely...
I'm taking a breather. I'm taking a breather. Okay. Grinding my brain down.
That aren't as gay as, like, no rip Charlie Kirk, but like the TPUSA events pander way too much for me. There has to be one woman out there that's
Rolling
sick of
on the floor
pandering.
laughing emoji.
Oh, women are...
Smiley face emoji. Did you really just say I'm a chimp out? Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Smiley face emoji.
Yes, I am getting to that point.
Much for me. There has to be one woman out there that's sick of the pandering. Oh, women are so special and awesome. It's like, all right, not really. We ain't shit.
There you have it. Women ain't shit. They're all whores according to Pearl. So really, it's just, that means about Pearl. It's a projection. It's really just Pearl. That isn't shit. It's really just Pearl that can't do anything right. And all the things she says about women. Let's continue.
It's like I have the audacity. And I really hate the idea of naming things after myself. I don't... It makes me feel weird.
You're so brave. You're so brave, Pearl. You have the audacity to fucking lie constantly and cell phone and project. You're so brave. You know, she does things to just appease her own ego, but she's so brave. Like, her getting a street named after her really got to her head, huh?
Right? But audacity.
I'm gonna name this after me because I have the audacity.
Like, audacity. I liked the Audacity Network. I thought that was a nice ring. And then you could...
Fun fact: the Audacity Network, which was opened by Pearl Davis, was a 24-hour live stream, and upon its opening, only had one viewer watching, which was Tree of Logic recording it to say that she has no viewers watching. Yeah, great name, Pearl. The audacity to have no fucking viewers.
Do Audacity Music or Audacity Coffee. Although when I made my channel, it was just Pearly Things. and it could be just Pearly coffee.
So basically, she's trying to open a conservative coffee shop. Tell me it's not giving the quartering. She's on a literal coffee grift. An actual coffee grift where she's like, yeah, we're gonna have conservative coffee. You know, even though she's a contrarian, has no actual opinions. But she's gonna grift to the conservative guys to have a place to hang out. Like-minded individuals like her, which means brain-dead individuals. Conservative coffee.
I'm not calling you guys losers.
I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up.
And it's just all these pretentious people that think they're better than everyone else. Fuck you.
That's you. I'm gonna show you how to do a coffee grift, Pearl. Okay? This is how you do a coffee grift. So, you guys know that my name is Brittany Venti, and that makes me the coffee queen. So, if you guys want to be the coffee kings, then you should buy my Coffee Brit Coffee candle. It burns for a really long time because it's made of beef tallow and beeswax, and it smells amazing. The scent is very strong, and you don't have to be a conservative to buy it. It's non-political, just like Jeremy from the Quartering. So, get yourself some Coffee Brit coffee. It's very political. Just kidding. If you're a liberal, don't buy my coffee, okay? No, but seriously, you can't be me, Pearl. You can't. You can't do the coffee grift like I can. But you can be Jeremy.
Just all these pretentious people that think they're better than everyone else. Fuck you. That's how I feel about it. But anyways, so that's what I was thinking. I'm like, imagine we have this cute little coffee shop. It's like 3,000 square feet. You can buy merch there. I know I don't have merch now, but maybe I will someday, right?
Please don't put your face on it. Whatever you do. I can only take so much. Please don't make people have to be subjected to that and seeing your face everywhere. Please. Oh, and by the way, if you weren't convinced of Pearl, what's the word? Trying to sell marriage as a bad thing. She also titles this video "Marriage is a Business Contract." Now, if you want to be like super technical, could you argue that that's a government paper and property and stuff like that? Yeah, but her intent of doing it isn't to be like some autistic logical thing. The intent is to demonize marriage. The intent is to say that men shouldn't get married. That is her goal. She wants everyone to be miserable like her because she has mommy issues. Now, another reason I bring this video to your guys' attention, it's really not that important to watch the audio. I'll play it for a couple seconds so you guys get the idea. But look at the way she just sits there melting in her chair with her raccoon eyes. Like she's Jeremy Maxing.
Aspect of your life is most
can't wear a flattering shirt to save her life.
Your professional career, almost everything except your relationship or marriage with a woman depends mostly on your own effort.
So these guys are just talking the entire time. She just sits there looking bored. Like, can you at least like pretend to look interested and not like you're on your computer doing other things? Doing anything but being there. The entire video, she's just melting in her chair. She looks like she's half asleep. That was the first time she woke up a little. And she's back to sleepy. Sleepy Pearl. Oh my goodness. Crop your camera. That shirt's awful. Fits you terrible. Terribly fitted shirt. She is so bored. She does not care what these guys are saying.
Cause problems instead of being a net positive. He don't have.
Yeah, I can see why. Let the men make the talking points because you're not gonna make any. By the way, speaking of her catfishing and her documentary, there's something important that I want to point out about that. So with her documentary, she's been posting it on Twitter saying like, hey, look at me, I'm making a documentary. And she posted these photos. Do you see anything wrong with this? Anybody have any idea what's wrong with this? Maybe it's because you don't see the full picture. Let me show you each individual photo she posted with it. So she posted 4. Okay? You know, here she is catfishing. All right. Next photo. Person she interviewed, I think, or someone in the production. Her again. And then another photo of the production. Now, if this were Pearl looking at another woman doing this, saying, I'm doing a documentary about helping men and their divorces, and they posted 2 photos of themselves like this, she would immediately call them grifters. She would immediately be like, women can't do anything, but they just can't help themselves from grifting and making it about themselves and using men and their families and marriage to get ahead. She says that type of stuff all the time. All the time. If that were another woman posting what Pearl did there, she would be posting this meme. Tell me she wouldn't. Thank you, Brody says. $5. You can make a meme soap for Pearl.
You could make a meme soap for Pearl, but Sasquatch soap is already taken from.
Yeah, I was gonna say. An orange one would fit, though, because she's a ginger. And it would fit the Jeremy stuff. See, they have so much in common. It's always, conservative women can't help but to use their husbands. Let me see if I have one in here. I've covered it so many times, honestly. Okay, so here's an example. And there's tons of these. This is not the only one. This is not the worst. This is not the worst one. So this is just an average example. This is her hating on Lauren Chen, because she says modern females will take millions of dollars in Russian capital in order to look like a boss babe. So she's basically just hating on her because she's a boss babe. I know she's mentioning the Russia thing. I don't think that that's Pearl's actual criticism. I think it's because she's a woman and Pearl's jealous. She has a long history to support this. And she's a boss babe, unlike Pearl, who's not a boss babe, right? And she says, conservative women will always use their husband to build their brand and maintain their reputation. So that is what she says for her just posting a photo with her husband on Easter. Like, hey, we're celebrating Easter. Here we are. Normal photo. And Pearl has to turn it into some conservative women. They're always grifting and using their husbands because I don't have a husband. I have to see. I'm Pearl. I pick me Pearl. So it's okay for her, though, to post with her man, though. Right? Her sugar baby. This is okay, though. Right? And it's okay for her to post photos of herself multiple times when talking about her documentary. She could have just posted the photos of the documentary set. Rules for thee, but not for me. Let's get a look into some more of Pearl's psychology.
And okay, you didn't cheat. We all been cheated on. We've all been.
Oh. Pearl, I have some news for you. You see, with your dating history, that might have something to do with that. It might just be you, Pearl. It might just be you. You know, if this were another woman, you know what Pearl would say? Oh, well, he must have cheated for a reason. What were you doing? You weren't having sex with him. She'll make shit up.
Cheated on ninjas! The women that don't get...
Imagine dating black guys and not even saying nigga. What was the point? What was, like, you get... What, like, hello? She's too scared. She's too scared. It's a shame. It's a shame. Well, she couldn't do it like me anyway. But anyway,
what they want out of the whoring, like whether it's a relationship, marriage. There's winners and losers in life. And the losers out of these women, what they do is they find God. And it's always at the most convenient time. It's like after you caught an STD, after you gain 50 pounds.
So no grace for anyone else, guys. So just remember to keep that same energy with Pearl. No grace for anyone.
Never find God when they're young, hot, and like ready to go.
This is how you create very bitter people, very malicious people. Is like, nobody deserves to be forgiven. This is literally how it's born.
It wasn't a Christian home. We didn't know God. He wasn't encouraged.
So this is the woman that was a porn star.
Got a jail-free card.
She
Again,
converted.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You chose to whore out because you wanted to. It wasn't because of your parents. It was you.
Or discouraged. I really believe because God is love. Without God, there's just no love in a household, you know? And so it was very chaotic, a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of physical, emotional abuse. I just really grew up with a lot of...
By the way, this whole video, she provides like no commentary. So I'm just going to skip ahead to this part.
Eventually we started dating and I lost my virginity to him. And then his brother called me and told me that he had cheated on me with 3 different women. And I was crushed because...
Wait for Pearl make some bullshit excuse. She was literally a virgin. She had the purity, youth, and beauty. Watch Pearl. Despite this woman meeting all the metrics she says that a woman needs to have a man, watch her somehow make up a bullshit excuse for this to justify the man cheating.
Of course, in my 60s.
And okay, you didn't cheat. We all been cheated on. We've all been cheated on, ninjas. Look it. So all of this is gonna elaborate to I was the victim. I did nothing wrong. That's really what it's gonna come down to.
18-year-old little heart, I thought, well, this is the guy that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Yeah. And after that, I had told my friends, like, I'm heartbroken. I felt not only rejected at home, but now rejected by the guy that I just gave everything to. Yeah. And so they're like, well, let's just go to Mexico and party.
Now, again, you gave everything to. Did you give him obedience? You know, that's a problem. Women.
She says, I gave everything to this guy. I gave my virginity. She was young, beautiful. All the things Pearl says you need to have a man. But then when she has those things and she gets cheated on, it's, well, you may have gotten cheated on with 3 different women, but did you give obedience? Somehow she will make an excuse for men to never, ever have accountability, to never have autonomy over themselves, which is quite literally what masculinity is. It's being able, that's how men are so strong. They're able to do so much, to take control, to be a man, to step up. But no, Pearl has to coddle them. They're not allowed to have autonomy. Men are not allowed to be men, which is why Pearl's so masculine. And you know what? It's never good enough. You could get cheated on, and her question is, well, were you being obedient? I was a beautiful young virgin. Well, were you being obedient? Like, nothing is ever good enough for her. So it is everything. It is everything to demonize women at every stop. She doesn't even know the story. Automatically, an assumption. Oh, well, you aren't obedient. Are you, Pearl? I mean, you let your man talk about how sexy his ex's ass is. I'm not sure that's the flavor of obedience women want. I'm not sure it's really a healthy relationship with your sugar baby that brags about your wealth. So I don't know why she's talking about, like, oh, were you obedient? She's over here on Twitter talking about how clavicular is mogging, slobbering all over him. Were you obedient? Because you look like a masculine career boss babe to me. Not that you couldn't be feminine in a boss babe, but in her case, you know? So I really hope I have hammered home my point here, which is that Pearl will do anything to demonize women. Her intent is malicious. She intends to try to hurt other women because she has mommy issues. And all this manosphere stuff is about Pearl's mommy issues and trying to find a way to get back at her mom at every twist and turn possible. and she constantly contradicts herself. She can't get her story straight, and she can't make coherent points to save her life. And the only time she can is when she steals it from other people. She even stole my point about the Brett Cooper stuff. Started saying stuff I said right after I said it. She had a different angle before. It was like, her angle was like schizophrenic. It was giving schizophrenic. And I made the point, which was like, all of these things, you go watch the video. I made the Brett Cooper thing about like why it was wrong how she handled clavicular. She went out of her way to see him, and the way she handled it in general, like it was disrespectful considering what he had said about her husband prior, and was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna smash her pelvis, and she still met up with him. So I made all these coherent points, and then Pearl, after I made these points, copied it, but she has me blocked on Twitter. So I hope you guys had a good time watching this dumpster fire of a woman. Because I can't play any more of her. I am tapped out. I am done. They're just jealous. Oh, to be Pearl. Listen, you couldn't pay me to be Pearl. There's no amount of money that would make me want to be Pearl. When she says, oh, my enemies, they own themselves. It's like, I would rather sleep in cat shit every day of my life than ever be Pearl. I would do a lot of things before I would ever want to be Pearl. She thinks she's above me and she has to lie about me to try to put herself above me. No. She will never be me. She would love to be me, but she can't, because she was born with a golden spoon in her mouth, and she still failed at life. And she doesn't actually know what a real struggle is. She doesn't actually know what it means to earn something and to make something of yourself from nothing. Like she said, she isn't shit. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. My voice is dying, so I'll see you guys later. Grab some soap before you leave and the Coffee Brick coffee candle. But there's other options too. You can get the Sky Bowl candle. I'll leave the link in the chat. There you go. Alright guys, have a good night.